where you want it.
Bay 12, please.
Hello there, Transformers fans, and welcome back to another Bay 12 video review. And today is the day where we finally build Menasor all the way. Now, I haven't been assembling Menasor. I've been at least showing the different limb modes of each character, I think, during each of these videos. But I wanted to save actually assembling Menasor piece by piece for the final video, for the breakdown review. So here is the final member of the Transformers Legacy Stunticons breakdown. And as you can see, he is in the same Transformers Legacy packaging as the Year 1 Transformers Legacy. The guys on the Transformers team, man, they get it. They understand the inbox collectors and the need for those of you who like to have all of a matching team or a matching set of figures in the same packaging. They clearly get it. The rest of the Hasbro branding teams need to take a page out of the Transformers team book because these guys got it right. His packaging matches the rest of the Stunticons from Year 1 of Legacy, even though he was in Wave 1 of Legacy Evolution. He's technically a Legacy Evolution figure, but they put him in the same packaging because they at least understand what it's like for you guys who are sealed collectors who want to have that matching set. Now, me, I'm not a sealed collector, so if they had done it in the Legacy Evolution packaging, it would have been no skin off my back. But I am so very happy that they took you guys into consideration. For those of you who like to collect your figures sealed, that's very nice of them. Good job, Transformers team. Mark, B-Mac, love you guys. Y'all are so awesome. Anyway, here we go. Here's Legacy Breakdown in the packaging. You can see him right there. We finally have that fifth member. There's his car mode. There's some artwork of him in robot mode on the side. There's the Legacy Year 1 banner. On the back, you've got some shots of the figure, and that's pretty much it for the packaging. And here he is right out of the box. Like I have been doing with some comparisons lately, before we do the close-up look at this guy, we're going to compare him side by side to the rest of the team now that we finally have the full team. But also, real quick, he does come with two accessories. He comes with his spoiler, which was detachable and has two pegs because in vehicle mode, it pegs onto the back of those two peg holes on the very back of the car mode. Like a lot of the other fans who voiced their opinion on this, I am not a fan of the way they did this. This is my biggest gripe about the breakdown figure. Aside from him being a retool of Wild Rider, which isn't a big deal in my opinion. I know some fans are a little bit more upset about it. I'm not that upset about it because they still made him look good. He still looks cool. I'd wish they had tooled the front of the car mode just a little bit differently because there were some details that they did retool to differentiate the two in both vehicle and robot modes, but the front of the car mode definitely needed to be a bit more different in my opinion. Other than that, I'm not that hung up on the fact that they retooled Breakdown from Wild Rider. It would have been nice had he had a full original sculpt, but it's not a huge deal in my opinion. It still would have been nice had they just retooled a fresh Breakdown from the ground up, because Breakdown has always been my favorite of the Stunticons. I've always loved his car mode the most out of all of them. Don't know why. I'm not sure why I've always gravitated towards Breakdown, but his vehicle mode was always my favorite of the Stunticons, and I feel like they cheaped out on him, which is kind of a shame. They sold my favorite Stunticon short, and that's a little disappointing because as I covered in the Dead End video, mold-wise, out of the cars, Dead End is the best, I think. He was definitely the most fun of the four Stunticon cars, in my opinion. Although, definitely best figure of the five has to go to Motormaster, but compared to the cars, just the four cars, I think Dead End is the best one out of the molds. So, which is, like I said, is a shame because aesthetically, Breakdown was always my favorite. So, it is what it is. Anyway, he only comes with one blaster. That's the other thing that kind of disturbs me about Breakdown is he's the only member of the 4 limbs that comes with one, not 2 blasters. And I get that we got one because we got the detachable spoiler that literally nobody asked for. So Hasbro, if it was either this or 2 of these and just molding this to the body, I think it's safe to say I can speak for most of the fans in this regard, where I say we would have rather had 2 of these and just this attached to the overall mold itself as a static, split in half piece, because a lot of collectors I've seen are just taking an X-Acto knife or a hot knife and just right down the middle and pegging it onto the respective spots and just rotating it to the side, or just leaving it as it is, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing as well, just because, well, I mean, I get what you were trying to do, but it's silly, and it makes him stand out in a way he shouldn't stand out from the rest, I think, so, accessory-wise. But anyway, what you can do so that he's just not awkwardly holding this thing that looks weird, like he's Crocodile Dundee, and just one blaster, while the rest have tool blasters, what you can do is you can peg this on to the side so he's got like an interesting axe, kind of. And yeah, it kind of looks like an axe if you squint so hard that you close your eyes and don't look at it at all. Yeah, sure, it looks like an axe weapon. Yeah, I know. I'm with you guys. I don't care for that either. It's just me. Or maybe it's, I know for a fact it's not just me. I've seen many social media posts about people not liking that. So, and it's not that it's a bad accessory. It's just, it wasn't a good in place of, dual blasters accessories to match the rest of them, is all I'm saying. Anyway, time for comparison. Let's show off the full team real quick before we get in on details and transformations. So here is Motormaster. Here is Drag Strip, Dead End, and Wild Rider. And there they are. There's the full team. That's all 5 Stunticons. We finally did it. We finally assembled all of them. Wow. Again, truly the best set of Stunticons, despite, Breakdown's faults. Truly the best set of Stunticons Hasbro's ever produced, in my opinion. It's amazing. I really did like Combiner Wars for a very long time. I mean, I still have my Combiner Wars set, but this set is significantly better. Now, I still am of the opinion that the aerial bots don't necessarily need the legacy treatment, mostly because the trickiest is going to be Silverbolt. It's going to be really difficult for Hasbro to do what they did with Motormaster with Silverbolt in order to make them the same size. And I mean, honestly, the Combiner Wars one was really good. I'm not going to say I don't want them to do one. I'm just saying I just don't see how they would do it, because in my opinion, the Superion we got was really good. So, but these guys look great. They look fantastic. Hasbro nailed it. You did it again. And now let's take a good look at Breakdown. Here he is. He's looking very nice, and yeah, he looks like Breakdown. Again, just one of the reasons I'm not super hung up about the fact that he is a retool of Wild Rider is because I still think they did a pretty good job at making him look like himself. A lot of those details are there just for comparison, so you can see his chest pieces are different. Of course, he has a totally different head design. The arms are basically the same, but I mean, they weren't significantly that different in design either. The front of the legs are pretty much the same, but the back of the legs and subsequent back of the cars are very different. And then, of course, the hoods of the cars are very similar. The front of the cars are pretty much the same mold, which, again, I griped about a little bit earlier because those definitely should be different from each other. But other than that, breakdown looks very nice. I mean, I feel like they pretty much nailed it. And that face sculpt looks incredible. Now, he is still fully articulated, has the same articulation as Wild Rider. Head is on a ball joint, fully articulated shoulders, upper biceps, single jointed elbows, in and out on the wrists due to transformation. You have that weird backpack thing that Wild Rider could do that I still don't remember Hasbro explaining at all as to why it does this, because it's not like it does this in the animation. It's not like they have this weird split open backpack or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just leave it all as one piece because I feel like it looks better as all one piece, especially from the front, where if it's split up, you've got like these weird car bits just kind of hanging down below by his arms. So yeah, I just leave it all as one piece because I feel like it looks better like that. Waist articulation, hips, upper thigh, single jointed knees, and side ankle joints, and forward and back on the foot, mostly due to transformation. Transformation, though, is really simple. Just like Wild Rider, we're going to start by moving his axe out of his hand. Straighten out those arms all the way. Fold in those wrists, or hands at the wrists. Bring that chest compartment forward, fold in the head, fold that back up. Bring his arms down to his waist. On that double hinge, bring that car up and make sure that those little bits right here line up with those holes, and then just push the front of the car down into place. There we go. And then just bring the windshield down like so. Next, we're going to tab the legs together, rotate the waist around. Oh, well, untab the legs. There we go. Open up those side panels, fold the feet up, bring down the car, tab that into place, and then just close that back down and tab that into place. And that's pretty much it for that. But, oh, there we go. But now we gotta take the spoiler off because that tabs on right here. And this is what I was talking about with people just cutting this in half and either rotating it to the side or whatever, because nobody that I've seen really cares about the whole axe thing. And for him, displaying him in robot mode, it's more convenient to just rotate these to the side if they're half pieces and just transform the legs as normally so they're just kind of out of the way, rather than just remove the whole piece and have it set to the side, or a goofy looking axe weapon and only one blaster. And then my other gripe about him in car mode is, unlike the rest, since the spoiler's taking up those two pegs there, there's not really anywhere to put his blaster while he's in car mode, which is kind of a shame. So that's my other gripe about that. But anyway, there he is in car mode. Overall, it looks really good. Again, my biggest complaint is the front of the car doesn't look quite breakdownish enough, just because, again, it shouldn't be the same shape as Wild Rider. It's a bit different than Wild Rider. They're very different cars. But other than that, he looks good. And now that we have him in car mode, here he is next to the rest of the team. And the full team just looks absolutely incredible in vehicle mode as well. Very, very awesome side by side. And now that we have them in vehicle mode, you know what it's time for. It's time to finally assemble Menasor. So let's do it. First, we're going to start with breakdown, since he's the only one we actually haven't shown off in limb mode yet. So he is the right leg for the legacy version of Menasor. So what we're going to do is, just like with Wild Rider, we're going to pull up the windshield section, like so. Pull up the front of the car, like so. And that's pretty much it. Next, we're going to take those two pegs right there. Those are going to peg on right there. And as we push him on, it's going to... There we go. Close that gap right in the middle, filling out that leg. Just bring that down a little bit. And there is breakdown in leg mode. Go ahead and just do Wild Rider next. And there are the legs all done. We'll go ahead and do Motor Master next. All right, now that we've got him in his torso mode, just slide on each leg, like so. And now all that's left to do is the arms. And there is drag strip in arm mode. Now for dead end. And then there's dead end in arm mode. And here he is, Menasor, finally fully assembled, finally completed. And he looks absolutely fantastic. What a combiner. Hasbro, you nailed it. You did a fantastic job with this team. As nice as it would be to be able to just buy a box set combiner at some point, which is one big lump sum, I gotta say, personally, I enjoy the thrill of the hunt of completing a combiner over a year or 2 years. Completing this Menasor was a fun task for me. In some cases, it's stressful because you're trying to quickly put that pre-order in before they sell out because everybody's trying to complete it. But at the same time, you know, if you can't get that pre-order in, well, then you're hunting for that deal online or hunting in the wild. For example, I paid roughly 45 bucks for Breakdown. And that's just because I wasn't quick enough to get that pre-order in. Drag strip was super easy to find. In some cases, in some Walmarts, I can still find him on shelves, and he's like the only one I can still find on shelves. But Wild Rider, Motor Master, and Dead End, I managed to find on Target shelves, luckily. But Breakdown was the toughest. Mine actually just got in the mail yesterday to when I'm recording this video from the UK. Now, I didn't intentionally order it from the UK, but it's just kind of nice to know that every piece was different. And now that I'm thinking about it, I did not get Wild Rider on Target shelves. Actually, I got him on eBay. But each piece I got from a different place pretty much, and it was just, it's just kind of fun to me, hunting and getting it from all different places. Each Stunticon I got from a different place in the world, and that's kind of nice in a sense. Just I feel like there's more of an attachment for me for this piece because of the different hunting. Now, some of you may feel completely different about that. Some of you would have just rather probably, you know, had Hasbro just release each figure all in one wave and just, you know, pre-ordered that full wave, or just pre-ordered a box set or something like that. And, you know, I totally get that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And maybe Hasbro will still do a box set at some point later, like a limited generation selects or something like they did with the Studio Series Devastator, where they did a variant paint job where you could buy the complete set if you didn't piece together the individual Constructicons, which that was another fun one. I loved the Studio Series Devastator. Putting that together was a blast and a half. And honestly, I'm also really excited for the new core class Volcanicus. I don't typically collect that scale of characters unless they're meant to be that size relative to the other characters in Generations or Studio Series or whatever. But I am definitely looking forward to putting together that Volcanicus, so stay tuned for those videos. Those reviews are coming. We will be doing the core class Dinobots, the team of 6. I am also excited to see who the 6th member is going to be, because obviously there's going to be the 5 core members, right? We're going to have Slag, Sludge, Grimlock, Swoop, and Snarl. But who is the 6th member going to be of Volcanicus, and what limb are they going to be? Is it going to be an arm? Is it going to be a leg? Because Sludge and Slag make up the torso. Grimlock's already been announced. He is going to be the left leg. So does that mean Snarl is going to be the leg, or are they going to come up with a new 6th member that's large as well, and that's going to be the right leg? I'm certain Swoop will likely be one of the arms, but that means either Snarl is an arm or Snarl is a leg, and our mystery 6th member is either an arm or a leg as well. So I'm excited. I'm also excited to see who they're going to retool it into. Again, most likely scenario is going to be Dino King from Transformers Victory, specifically based off of the number of dinosaurs, the fact that it was a team of dinosaurs, it was a team of 6, and based off of Slag and Sludge alone, a very similar configuration to what Dino King would end up being anyway as a combiner. And also fingers crossed that they do a Generation Selects or just another repaint set of Monstructor as well, because like I was talking about in another video, we've never gotten a modern Monstructor from Hasbro, and I would absolutely love that, and I'm sure there's plenty of other fans out there who would love a modern Monstructor as well. So make it happen, Hasbro. If we're getting at least one repaint out of the team of 6 Dinobots, let's squeak out another one so we can have both Dino King and Monstructor instead of either or, because I think that would be very satisfying for us fans. But anyway, what's a combiner you hope to see Hasbro do in the future? Outside of something that's either rumored or already announced or hinted at by Hasbro. Of course, Hasbro's already hinted that we are for sure getting another combiner out of the Dinobots, but like I said, that could go either way. It could be Dino King, it could be Monstructor, or it could be a totally new combiner entirely. But my money's on Dino King. Personally, I would love a modern Leo Kaiser, a proper Leo Kaiser, much to the effect of this. If they, for the next set of Legacy, if we want to get a member of Leo Kaiser throughout the next few waves, it's a team of 6. It would be relatively easy to do. They could break them down as 1 or 2 members per wave. They could all be relatively deluxe to Voyager class. None of them would need to be a commander class to make a proper Leo Kaiser, and I think that's more than feasible on Hasbro's part. I would also love to see a modern Raiden. I know we got a Raiden for Masterpiece collectors, but $150 a figure out of a team of 6 is a bit ouch for the average Generations collector. And even though it looks amazing, and I would definitely like to complete that set myself at some point, and I might just do that, a modern generation scale Raiden I think would be really, really cool. So again, name a combiner you would love to see get a new modern update in the comments, or just made in general, because there's still some combiners that haven't really been made by Hasbro yet. And I'm in a combiner mood again. It's been almost 10 years since Combiner Wars, but Menasor has put me back in the mood to collect combiners again, and I've always been a fan of combiners. So hopefully Hasbro has more coming. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this review. Thank you so much if you've tuned into all of these reviews where we reviewed the Transformers Legacy Stunticons. It has been a fun year completing this team of characters, and this is significantly better than the Combiner Wars one. Speaking of which, I almost forgot we didn't compare the two. Now, I know this isn't the G1 coloration, and that's okay because I love the color scheme of this one. So here is the G2 version of the Combiner Wars Menasor, and this wasn't a bad set by any means in my opinion. I still love this release, and I still like these molds. You know what? As G2, I love that the mold looks drastically different from this, and that's probably how I'm going to have it in my collection, honestly. As awesome as the potential of a re-release of the full set in G2 colors for Legacy is, I think I would prefer to keep the alternate mold just to have a little bit more variation between the two. They're pretty much the same size. The new Menasor is a hair taller than the Combiner Wars Menasor, and the articulation and combined mode ports are significantly better. Plus, I mean, the Motor Master is significantly better. However, I still dig this one. I'm still a fan of the Combiner Wars mold. It's still a good mold. I think it holds up rather well. But yeah, I mean, it's no contest. This is definitely way, way better. And like I said earlier, before I forgot to do the comparison, thank you so much for tuning into this video and this series of videos. If you've missed any of the other reviews, well, feel free to go back and check out some of the other videos that we did covering the Transformers Legacy Stunticons. We reviewed all 5 figures here on our YouTube channel. All videos are posted at this point and have been for a little bit, so feel free to go back and check those out. And while you're at it, check out some of our other Transformers reviews and check out some of the other content that we've done here on Bay 12, because we have a wide variety of content on Bay 12. Stay tuned for more. Like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and in case you're local or visiting us in town, come check out the physical location of Bay 12 inside the Shops at Willow Bend Mall in Plano, Texas, inside Order 66 Multiverse. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. Transform and roll out.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.